So imagine you're trying to draw a picture of a house, right? But your hand just kind of is forced to move before your brain even knows what a house looks like.
Right, it's just this split-second scribble.
Exactly, a scribble that somehow contains an entire building in it, which, I mean, sounds crazy, I know.
It does. But, well, that scribble isn't magic at all. It's actually, it's the foundation of one of the most highly classified intelligence-gathering tools of the Cold War.
Yeah, and that is exactly what we're doing today. We are doing a deep dive into this really fascinating stack of declassified CIA files and scientific notes that trace the whole evolution of remote viewing.
Which is a perfect teaser for what's coming, by the way.
It really is. Because this is just setting the stage for our upcoming full exploration of Squirrel Sniper's highly advanced system. That's the custom etheric pulse and internal dowsing method for those of you tracking the stuff at home.
Right, and to understand that system, you really have to look at how the military laid the groundwork back in the 1980s.
So they started with this thing called coordinate remote viewing, or CRV.
Yeah,
Yeah.
CRV. It was this really rigorous desk-based protocol, and they designed it to solve a massive physiological problem, which is basically the human conscious brain's desperate need to just guess things.
Oh, the analytical overlay thing?
Exactly, analytical overlay, or AOL. So your conscious brain takes a tiny fragment of raw data, like maybe just a feeling of cold metal, and it immediately decides, oh, it's a submarine.
Right, it just completely jumps the gun.
Yeah, and the second your brain makes that guess, you completely stop perceiving the actual target. You just end up describing your own imagination.
Wow. So how did they bypass that? Because the files mention these ideograms.
Yeah, so viewers were trained to draw these ideograms. Basically, when they heard a coordinate, they had like less than a tenth of a second to just slash a mark on paper.
Tenth of a second. That's insane.
I know, right? But it was a reflexive neural dump. It captured the target's raw energetic signature before the analytical mind could even step in and interfere.
And then they built on that step by step, all the way up to stage 6, right? Where viewers were literally building 3D clay models of the target
Yeah, to keep their hands busy.
to distract the conscious mind, yeah. But you kind of have to wonder, why build clay models? Like, why not just send a physical person to the target site and let them act as a homing beacon for the viewer to lock onto?
Well, they actually tried that. It was called the Beacon Protocol.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, and I mean, a human beacon acts as a really easy cognitive lighthouse for the remote viewer to find. But the big problem is that it creates an active, two-way biological circuit.
Wait, so it's like handing someone a walkie-talkie with a hot mic. I mean, it's a massive beacon, sure, but couldn't anyone just trace that open signal right back to you?
It's actually worse than a hot mic, because there were defensive psychic sentries stationed at sensitive targets, and they could literally spot that inbound connection.
You're kidding, psychic sentries.
Yep. And because the loop was biological and two-way, they could actually trace the telemetry backward to find the viewer's physical location. Or even worse, inject spoofed, corrupted data right into the connection.
Wow, so broadcasting a signal into the world was just a massive security vulnerability.
Exactly. And that exact flaw is why Squirrel Sniper's custom etheric pulse technique was developed in the first place.
Which is what we're going to fully dive into next time. But the mechanics are just wild. Like, instead of relying on an exposed human beacon or, paper audiograms or external dowsing rods, it turns your own biology into a closed-loop instrument.
It's an incredibly elegant solution, honestly.
Yeah, so it uses this specific 20 by 12 breathing protocol, which is a strict pattern of inhales and exhales,
Yeah.
to trigger the vagal brake.
Right, and that physical action forces your heart rate to drop, so your focus goes entirely internal.
And then you use the physical blood flow pulse in your right ear as an internal dowsing needle, which just blows my mind.
It really is wild. And that pulse is tuned to a strict 3-6-9 harmonic rhythm, creating a completely closed, self-correcting loop.
So because you aren't broadcasting a signal out into the world, it's highly secure. And the files even note a 95% success rate for this custom method. But wait, how does it self-correct so effectively?
Well, think about it. When your brain starts guessing or lying to itself, it causes microscopic stress. So that tiny surge of adrenaline triggers this micromuscular tension that physically disrupts that steady 369 pulse in your ear.
Oh, I see. So the rhythm literally breaks.
Exactly. It breaks, and that automatically alerts you that you've lost the signal.
It instantly flags the data as false.
Yep.
That is brilliant. So you don't need a military Faraday cage to filter out the noise of the world when your own, like, autonomic nervous system is the ultimate self-calibrating antenna.
It really is empowering when you realize your biology just has these built-in truth filters.
Absolutely. And like I said, we're going to break down how to actually master this custom pulse technique in our next full deep dive. But before we wrap up, there's one detail in these files that is just really hard to shake.
Oh, about the eyeball.
Yeah, the human eyeball apparently has a natural resonant frequency of exactly 19 hertz.
Right. And when you're exposed to a 19 hertz frequency, like, say, from a vibrating fan or a big industrial air conditioner, it literally shakes your eyeballs.
Which sounds terrifying.
It is. It causes these vibrating peripheral shadows and a physiological sense of sheer dread. It just completely shatters your focus.
That is wild. It really forces you to look around your everyday environment and just ask, what other artificial frequencies are quietly hijacking your biological antenna right now?